Okay, we should be good money now. Okay. Hey, am I am I live or what? What the heck is happening, man? Okay, we good. We good. We good money. All right, welcome back, Dukes and Dukettes. It's your man. And yeah, let me wait until till more Dukes and Dukettes pop in here, man. Let me wait. Let me wait. Let me wait. Let me wait. Man, it's been a while coming, man. It's been a long time. I got some updates for you guys, so you guys hop on in here. Waiting for everybody to come on in, hop on in here. I got some updates for you guys. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, do I have up this? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Man, hop on in here, guys. Let me check the audio. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good now. Let me just make sure. Okay. All right. Hey. Welcome back, Dukes and Duke. Yes, we got Jamal in here, man. Hey, yo, I'm good. I got some announcements. Just trying to wait for a couple more people to hop on in here. Uh, Thank you for tuning in. We got a couple people in here so far. Man, I missed the lives, man. I missed the lives. I missed the lives. I'm not gonna lie. Let me turn the cam just a little bit more over here. Okay, we're good. We're in the frame. Okay, just want to make sure. Looking pretty crispy. Let me know if the audio sounds good. I checked it, but let me know on you guys' end. Man, my guy Jamal over here, man. He said it's been a minute. Um, Shoot, yeah, it has. A lot's been going on. A lot has been going on, and I tell you what, uh, they try to get me. They try to get me down. I got striked. I guess I'll go ahead and hop straight into it because we don't got too much time. But I got strike, guys. I got strike. They got me for a strike, and it sucks. It sucks. But my last live stream I did probably like 8 weeks ago, or however long it was. um, they did. They the channel that I reacted from, commenced the strike. So they striked me, and YouTube allowed them to. And pretty much that was like my first strike after the renewed one. And if I get 3 strikes, they're gonna try to terminate the channel. So I gotta be careful over here. You know what I mean? We got Mayday in here. Was good. Was good. Was good. Audio was straight. Okay, great, great, great. Um, yeah, I mean the gaming channel. I've said this on the gaming channel as well today, and previously. Like I got striked. That happened. Personal stuff. A lot of things going on my side. I'm busy, and then now I have to fix my editing software. So that's another challenge too, cause I can't edit no videos if I don't have the editing software. And then plus, there's a lot of content that I already have that I can't do anything with because my editing software doesn't work. So I gotta wait on that. So just all around busy traveling, doing some other personal planning stuff for special events. So, all in all, very busy, very very busy. But I would say what held me back from posting was definitely my editing software, and then also I was a little bit scared because of the strike. Because when reacting to certain things, I've already been through a whole bunch of like copyright stuff, so that's like a no brainer. That's like a thing that is gonna happen for me on some or on certain videos. But when a channel strikes you, bro, it's like, oh, hold on, now we gotta wait. Now we gotta really collect ourselves and not make the same mistake, because 3 strikes and they're trying to get you out of here. So it sucks, bro. But we we gotta do what we gotta do. So if you want to join the membership and kind of like, I guess get those videos that you guys want to see more often, because certain videos I already know is gonna get copyright strike. Just like the 1,000 Ways to Die ones, that's already going to get copyright. Well, not copyright strike, but it's going to get copyrighted. Well, basically the same thing. And those are going to be on the membership channel. So if you guys are interested in that, check out that. Join the membership. We got special lives over there. We got the Discord, for certain tiers. So if you're interested in that, check it out, and join the membership. But without further ado, man, let's get started, man. Scary Saturdays. I missed it. We got some shorts, and then we're gonna hop straight into the scary stuff, and then we're gonna end with some funny stuff. So if you got a funny video toward the ending, shoot it in the comments down below, or in the chat. Actually, in the chat, shoot it in the chat, and let's see where it's at. Eddyed TV. Let's go. Willie
Smith was ruthless. Yeah.
Y'all know what happened to me. Getting smacked by Suge Smith. And people like, did it hurt? It still hurts. Everybody called that man a bitch. Everybody.
You want to buy my mystery crown for $1?
Yeah.
I got 2 of them.
I ain't got no money, bro. We doing bad right now.
What's your name?
Donald.
I'm Zachary. What's your name, man? Joseph. You like basketball?
real quick, man. These videos right here, they get on my nerves. I'm not gonna lie. I am not gonna lie about this. Like seeing these videos, the helping people out videos, because you know why I get on my nerves? People be faking it. People be hiring actors, acting like they're homeless or whatever, and they give them some, water cash, or it be a lot of fake ones out there. It's kind of messed up. They're using it for profit. So I can't tell you which ones are real and then which ones are totally fake. But I know they're fake ones. There have been people coming out talking about it. So it is kind of annoying, man. But let's continue the video. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Crown's for you, man.
Thank you.
You want the basketball too?
Yeah.
Yeah, autism.
Oh, yeah, autism. Since you guys were out here today, I got 1,000 cash.
How you playing, man?
For you.
Sure.
1,000 cash. Come over here, man. Love you, bro.
Man, I need the cash. Look at my car.
Holy cow, you guys are living in here right now? What's your dream?
My dream is for him.
Dang, living in a car is pretty serious. I'm not gonna lie. Living in a car is pretty serious. Like that right there. That is pretty serious. Chris Rock going in on some Will Smith. Yeah. Chris Rock going in, man. Hey, but look, he getting his money's worth now. Like, he got slapped. Now he's getting paid off of that slap. Isn't that crazy? He's getting paid off of his beat down. Well, he didn't get beat down. He just got slapped. Hey, if I could get paid for getting slapped, you know how much he making off of that comedy tour? I have no idea, but I know it's a lot. That's what I'm saying. He's making that guapo manano. It's getting a little bit hot in here. It's getting a little bit hot in here, guys. I might have to take off this sweater. Hold on, let me play the videos for you guys.
Everything he needs help-wise and get us.
All right, I had to take off this sweater. It was getting hot.
Into our whole apartment. Oh man, I tell you, big dog. I appreciate
I got another surprise, though. You guys ever been to a Laker game?
it. Never.
You're going to the Laker game tonight. We're going to meet all the players.
Oh man.
And we're pulling up in a Lambo. How's that sound to you, man?
Hey.
Let's go, Lakers! How you doing, man?
Copyright.
God is better than the devil.
Kanye!
All the producers, the musicians, the designers, moved us all out to Hollywood. They got contracts out there that say you can't say Jesus. You can say Jesus in your studio, but
there's only one restaurant we serving for tonight, and that's God's restaurant. And he bringing it back tenfold, 100-fold, a millionfold, blessings untold, blessings harder than gold, stronger than a gold. I return my soul to the one that told me, the one that owns me, the ones that shows me, and that's what God showed me. The devil controlled me, but he can't hold me, because God done told me, and life has shown me that God is the only, the real, not the phony. The phony would clone me, but just watch how they cloned me. And look at me, show me. I'm here with my homies. I'm here with my families. I don't need a Grammy. I'm back in the building. I'm here with my children. You know it's a feeling. You know it's a feeling.
Hey, I'm just saying, Kanye, he was going in with his things, man. This is serious business, man. This is serious, bro. Kanye is doing his thing when it comes to the words, man. That's 100%.
This girl set up her phone in this song, saying she wanted to check if her boyfriend was husband material by seeing if he would play along with her. And not only did he do that, he went above and beyond.
Oh, hold on, copyright. Hold on. I can't. I'm about to get straight right now. I forgot about the copyright stuff immediately. It's been a while. It's been a while. Most of these things have. Okay, he's doing GTA. That's crazy. That. Oh snap. Oh. That's pretty good.
Hey.
Hey, want to ride?
Sure.
That's funny. Hey, that is funny because you could do that on GTA. That's hilarious. It says Suge Smith. That was Chris. I actually saw that award ceremony. I'm not saying that what he said was right. If that was me, I would have pulled him aside and just talked to him. Yeah, he definitely could have handled it better. But in the moment, boy, he had that. All right, let's get started with the scary stuff. No more stalling. We're gonna go ahead and turn off the lights and get the scary Saturdays videos started. Let's go. All right, we are here. Let's dim the lights a little bit more. All right. Let's go. Let's get it. Uh-oh. Boating. So we have 3 true scary boating horror stories.
Before getting into today's stories, I want to talk about today's sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. When my dad was a bit younger, he got into a serious car accident that left him with a
Hey, shouts out to Morgan & Morgan.
injuries.
Do you like fun fact? Morgan & Morgan, my cousin went to school with their grandkids. Fun fact. They're rich. They are rich out here. But Morgan & Morgan is for real.
Or dial pound law, which is pound.
Have you considered going solar in Florida but afraid of the huge price tag attached?
We getting hit with the commercials already.
My friend Kyle has a 27-footer center console boat.
Kyle!
In the summer, he's the go-to friend to have for boat days, since none of our other friends have a boat. I'm not a boat expert by any means, but my friend has some kind of radar on his boat that warns of any kinds of landmasses, shallow waters, and other boats.
Oh, that's cool.
So with that,
That's
we're
great.
able to stay out on the boat past dark sometimes. The boat can fit.
Look at the water. The water is dirty. The water is brown. You know what beach has water that's brown? Daytona Beach in Florida is disgusting. It looked bad.
Comfortably. This was on a hot summer day, mid-July. Kyle took 5 of us out on the boat just to drink in the bay. Then, hours later, he took us to some waterfront bar restaurant where we docked the boat,
Shouts out to Mr. Nightmare,
and chilled out for another few hours. We had an abundance of spiked seltzers in the cooler still, and it was a Friday night. So, after leaving the restaurant, Kyle took us back to the middle of the lagoon where we cruised slowly with music blasting the whole time. Kyle doesn't really drink, so it works out that he's the one with the boat, and he just enjoys boating us around without having to drink. We passed by the lighthouse on the barrier island. We all had this conversation about how there's something so liminal and creepy about lighthouses at night. Kyle cut the engine and we just floated in place for a while with the music still playing. As everyone talked, I was kind of mesmerized by the lighthouse, finding myself looking at it over and over. I think because I was so drawn away from the conversation that was being had, that I was the one to pick up on a screaming voice from the distance.
Oh, Lord.
I said, "Yo, cut the music," a bunch of times before whoever was on aux paused it. I said I heard a scream from the distance. We were currently floating next to an island that sat in the middle of the mainland and the barrier island. We sat in silence for a few seconds as we bopped around, and sure enough, I was right. There was a woman's scream for help coming from that island. We all looked at each other.
Woo! I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. Island? 2 things come to my head. How did she get on the island? And is she alone on the island? Because if she's alone, why does she need help? Maybe she ran out of food? And if she's not alone, who's after her? Who's trying to get her? You know what I mean? It could be a weird creature. It could be a beastly, unseen type of beast. I don't know. This is. We're going to see what happens because I really don't know what could be the danger here. Her or somebody that she's with. Let's see.
And I could see the horror on my friends' faces. The screams were absolutely coming from the island. We were too far from both the mainland and the barrier island for it to be coming from there. We yelled back as loud as we could, and the woman's voice called back, "Help." We all screamed, "Where are you?" And the woman's voice called back, "I'm being followed." Communicating like this was hard, as we could barely hear each other. One more time, we called, "Are you on the island?" And she screamed back, "Yes." Kyle started the engine without hesitation and started bringing us over to the island. He anchored us when we were close enough to the shore of the little island. All 6 of us got off the boat and started looking around and calling for the woman.
Oh boy. Either she got or she made him come to the spot so they could get popped. Oh, man.
This matter became a lot more concerning when she said, "I'm being followed." This island wasn't that big.
First of all, do they have a weapon to handle this person? Or they might be freaking up early, man.
And with 6 of us walking around with flashlights calling for her,
oh,
surely
6.
We would have found her.
Okay, 6 people.
On the opposite side of the island suddenly, we heard a blood-curdling woman scream, sounding like it was partially muffled. My friends and I all yelled at each other to meet on that side of the island. We all ran as fast as we could. I ran through painful brush barefoot, and by the time I got to the other side of the island, my feet were bleeding.
Dang.
There was no one here. I met my friend Kyle and Jake, who were already there, and they said they heard the sound of a boat motor driving away.
Oh my gosh! They got! Oh, freak! Oh, wow. Oh, wow, son. That's crazy. The water reminds me of the expedition, the known sessions where the water is all... Man, this is crazy.
Also a fresh wake in the water, clearly from a boat that just left, but it was too dark to see anything deeper into the water. I called 911 and reported this so that Bay Patrol could be on the lookout for any mysterious boats with its lights off. A Bay Patrol boat came to Kyle's boat where we anchored, and we all frantically told the 2 officers aboard what just happened. They walkie-talkied to, I'm sure, every other boat on duty, and it became a whole manhunt. I don't think the boat was ever found though, because it didn't end up on the news or anything. All I know is there was no one on that island by the time we searched it. We were all so freaked out about this that Kyle brought the boat back to the marina, and we all just ended up chilling in his backyard, talking about what happened.
Oh, you know what I thought they got their boat stolen. I thought the person got them to get off the boat and then stole their boat and ran off. But that's not the case. So I was about to be like, this is ridiculous.
To this day, we still don't know what that was about. There were no news articles of missing women as far as we knew. Was it some kind of kidnapping, or was it a group of assholes playing some fucked up prank? I don't think we'll ever know.
We don't know. Michael Crowley, story number 2.
This is a story from my uncle and my dad that they've told countless times at family gatherings, and it still creeps us all out just as much. It was the 80s. My dad and Uncle Jack have always been avid fishermen. They'd go out deep sea fishing at least a few times a year in my uncle's boat. He had a 70s 2-cabin cruiser. I've seen pictures and the thing was huge. My uncle used to live in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, where he docked his boat. My dad would go up there for a weekend once in a while to go out to sea for a night with my uncle. I've never been into fishing. My dad tried to get me into it, but it's not my thing. I'm also not going to pretend to know much about fishing, but I know the fish you catch will be bigger and more abundant the deeper into the ocean you go. I think they'd primarily go for striped bass, tuna, and cod. They'd go about 20 miles out to sea and just catch whatever they could fit on the boat. They used to be so obsessed that my uncle's walls in his house to this day are still covered 90% in pictures of him and my dad holding fish. This one time though, it was a very unexpectedly cloudy night, and it was a new moon. They were currently in the cabin having a beer together playing cards after supper, when something went wrong with the boat and the lights died. My Uncle Jack had to check the circuit panel, but doing so in the dark with nothing but a crappy flashlight was difficult though. Upon checking the circuit panel, my uncle learned that something caused 2 of the fuses to blow, inconveniently eliminating almost all the lights on the boat, including the running lights. They didn't really have much of a choice other than to call it a night early and wait till dawn to head back to the shore. But within an hour was around the time they started to hear a humming type sound coming from around 20 meters in the horizon. They went out onto the deck of the boat, and my dad always says it was nearly impossible to tell if his eyes were open or closed. That's how dark it was outside.
Dang.
There was a strange humming sound coming from behind the boat. Both my dad and uncle stepped to the stern of the boat, and they realized the humming sound didn't sound like any kind of fish. They said it sounded like a person groaning. But even with the flashlight, they couldn't see beyond maybe 5 meters in front of them. It was starting to rain, so the 2 of them went inside the cabin. It would have been a horrible idea to try to drive the boat in pitch blackness in the rain, so they went to sleep. The next morning, at the crack of dawn, my uncle woke up my dad and told him to come outside to the deck. Through the thick fog, they could see another boat floating in the near distance. My Uncle Jack drove the boat closer to the vessel, and then blew the whistle he had on board to try to get anyone's attention who may have been in the cabin. The boat looked like it could have been abandoned though, so attaching a rope from one boat to another, my uncle jumped onto the boat, and the cabin door was unlocked. He stepped down into the cabin and smelled the disgusting, sickening smell of death. He saw a man hanging by a rope in the cabin.
Oh,
he ran back out and back onto his boat and tried to throw up into the water. My dad says he didn't even dare go down and see the body after his brother told him what he saw. My dad and Uncle Jack marked their current coordinates and contacted the nearest Coast Guard station through the VHF radio. The Coast Guard was there within an hour, and only then did my dad and uncle head back to the shore. They still don't know what the humming sound they heard was. This story really still haunts my uncle the most because he's the one who actually saw the dead body. They definitely together hold the scariest fisherman story I've ever heard.
It is okay
That's
to be
just
so
kinda
stressed
gross.
and overwhelmed that
Smelling a dead body. Man. Story number 3. Miranda. Should be a girl.
I live on a private canal in Florida with my family.
Florida.
I'll keep the rest of my location private. Basically, it's a 15-minute ride out of the canal into the ocean. We have a couple jet skis and a boat, a 35-footer 2007
DJ Khaled loved those jet skis.
My dad's baby. He's the boat guy. The jet skis are for my sister and I.
Hey.
So there's 4 of us in the house. My mom,
I have yet
dad,
to go.
sister,
I have yet to be go jet skiing. I've never been jet skiing. I always wanted to go, and I am gonna go, but I haven't been yet.
and I. I'm 23, she's 26. Nothing I say in the story will be me bragging at all. I'm just stating facts to help put the story into perspective. We have a few houses around the country. One in California, one in New York, and one in Florida. Our main house, I guess you could say, is our Florida house because that's where my sister and I grew up and went to school. It's in a gated community.
That's a small pool.
Our parents are gone a lot of the time out of state, leaving the house to my sister and I and our dog. We have a nice house, and when we're alone, we sometimes have parties and large gatherings in the backyard because our house is the last house on the canal, and next to the house is a little marsh. The canal keeps going a little bit beyond the house, then cuts off in the marsh. So in one direction, we have complete privacy from any neighbors. One really hot day, my sister and I took our jet skis out. Like I said, it's a 15-minute ride out of the canal where it opens up into a bay. Then we either ride in the bay or sometimes take it under the bridge and out into the ocean. Sometimes the ocean will be too choppy though, so we usually ride in the bay depending on the tide. There's always a lot of boats hanging out in the bay area. After a while of riding around, we stopped in the middle of the bay to just chill out. Only minutes later, a medium-sized boat came over to us, and an older man driving it started making conversation with us. He had to be in his late 50s or early 60s. He was on the heavier side, he had a bit of a gut, and he had a beer in his hand, as he was driving a boat for the record.
Beer belly.
He basically opened up with asking about our jet skis and telling us about his jet skis and his huge house on the water. He invited us to come swim in his pool.
Nah,
and when
we're
we
good.
said no thanks, we have to head back soon.
We're
He
good.
asked where we're from. Like I said, I'm not bragging, but my sister and I are good looking, so we do get the occasional creepers talking to us. We were vague answering his question and just said from the area.
I'm from the area.
My sister did the honors of turning her jet ski on first, indicating we were leaving. We waved goodbye in as friendly a way as possible and started riding around again. We looked at each other and laughed when we got away from his boat. He was mildly creepy for inviting two girls who could be his daughters to swim in his pool, but we've seen worse. Not long after, we decided to call it a day and bring the skis in. We idled through the canal, and we were about 80% of the way there. We came to the part of the canal where it intersects with our canal, kind of like a T intersection, and we were now in our part of the canal when we noticed a boat not far behind us in the intersecting part we just passed. It looked like the boat of the man who stopped us before.
It is him,
He was just very slowly drifting forward, passing our canal. We didn't know if he followed us or if he lived down the intersecting canal, but we continued home and docked our jet skis. What happened next was where things got really weird.
Y'all should have took a round. Y'all should have went back out, bro. Y'all should have went back out, circled back, and then, you know, now he know where y'all at. Now he know. He knows.
We were washing our jet skis, and we noticed the man's boat approaching our house in the canal.
Oh, whoa.
He stopped his boat right in front of our dock and started talking to us again with his creepy smile, complimenting our house and backyard. My sister came out and said what was on both of our minds. Why did you follow us here? That's really creepy. He replied that he lives in the community as well and just wanted to check our canal out. I think he got the hint that we weren't comfortable and didn't want to talk to him. He turned his boat around in the marshy area and waved goodbye to us. Neither of us waved back. There's a certain point where you cut the friendly act when people are so outwardly creepy and weird. That was one of those times.
For real.
We called our dad and told him about the creep. He wasn't happy with us for not getting the registration on his boat, which neither of us thought to do, sadly. Things didn't end there.
Hey man, see that's why I gotta act fast. They did a good job at being, hey, yo, you acting funny. We don't want to talk to you. You know, they kind of made it clear. So that's good on that side. Shoot, Jamal says, story number 2, I believe, is indigenous people said to destroy unwanted tourists and dump them into the river. Oh, shoot. To let their bodies decompose. Dang. Hold on 1 second, guys. That's some serious business right there. Ugh.
It was later that night that our dog started barking downstairs in the middle of the night. Both my sister and I woke up to it. I looked out my bedroom window to the backyard, and I swear to God, I saw a large person running across the yard towards the dock, then jumping into something in the water. I lifted the window.
Yo. Imagine that big guy with the beer belly trying to run. running, and then he jumps into the water, bro. He tried to get away. The dog caught you, bro. The dog caught you, my guy. Big beer belly ain't moving that fast.
And looked out, but I couldn't see anything. My sister and I ran downstairs to look out the back door with the lights on. Whoever it was gone. But we'd be kidding ourselves if we said we didn't know who it was. It had to be that creepy man who followed us home. I think having a big dog in the house was the only reason he didn't break into the house. We asked the neighbors on our canal if any of them had cameras that could see the boat from earlier, or perhaps anyone coming down the canal in the middle of the night. Our luck, no one in this gated community really has cameras. Not in their backyards, at least. Anytime we go out on the boat or jet skis now, I feel like in the back of our heads, we're always looking for that man and his boat now.
Hey, shoot, do your duties. Do your duties out here. Shoot. Do your duties out here, bro. This isn't a game. And, you know, I gotta tighten up out here. Tighten up. I don't get why. I guess because in the moment you have like an adrenaline rush to do certain things. Some people really freeze in the moment. Like when you're about to get attacked, some people really just freeze, and the other people attack, and then you have some that run. So it's like a mix between like obvious reactions, but when you wait in that type of situation, it's like something bad's is about to happen. Nothing good is gonna happen if you, like, let's say if a dog is running at you, you know, if you just stand there, you about to get bit. The dog gonna get you. Or if a lion was coming at you, see, that's a more difficult situation. Because a lion, they're fast, and if they get you, you're done. So that's not a good example. We're gonna scratch that one. The dog one, let's stick with the dog one, because that's you can live after that. You getting bit up if you stay still. If you're next to a car and a dog's coming, run inside the car, lock the door, drive off or something. Don't just stand there and be like, oh my gosh, she's coming, and try to brace yourself. You're gonna get got. The point is, we should be proactive in these situations. Like, let's not stall, wait, or wonder, because when you do that, that's when bad stuff happens. Jamal says, that's what the afternoon watercolor brown remind me of. Oh shoot, that brown. That brown. So we done with story number 1. I think it wasn't really scary. It's like a warm-up video for us, but the scariest one to me was probably the first story, only because you didn't know what was on the island, and it could have been a setup. So that one, to me, was probably the scariest. Other than that, you know, the other stories were decent too, but that's just a warm-up. Let's get to the next video. This one is titled, 10 Terrifying True Stories, Volume 4. Okay, so we got 10 Terrifying True Stories. Let's see. And let's hop straight into it. Okay, we are ready with the scary face. Oh! The music, sound effects. A
few years ago, something very weird happened with my best friend and I. I was 15 years old. One night I decided to sleep over at my friend's house. After a night of scary movies, we were in the mood to do something exciting. Not far from my friend's house was a demolishing site. A block of houses in a very terrible state that would be demolished the day after.
And they're
tomorrow.
gonna go inside the demolished house.
The local government would demolish them to make room for new houses. The whole site was fenced in, and warning signs saying "Do not enter" hung everywhere.
Exactly.
The houses were boarded up by planks. Doors and windows were sealed shut. No one could get in. We decided to go for a walk on the old block and take some random photographs. My friend knew a spot where we could enter the old block. When we walked there, we noticed that every house was boarded up tight, so we couldn't get in. We noticed a house with a window on the top floor that wasn't very well boarded up. We could see into the room. We took a photo with a digital camera. Later, we went home and took a look at the pictures we made. Suddenly, we came across the photo of the window. We saw a woman dressed in a brown raincoat with white skin and black hair as long as we could visibly see. The woman looked very sad. We hadn't seen any woman up there when we took the picture. Moreover, the windows and doors were boarded. We went back to the house to see if that was correct. After investigation, it really was. Everything was tied shut, and there was no woman.
Huh? The heck?
This story isn't mine, but rather of my friend from Japan. I'll call him Rita. It happened back when Rita was only about 11 or 12 years old. Rita was a rather attractive kid and had his fair share of admirers. One girl was extreme with her crush though.
Hey.
I'll call her Ayano. Ayano was a lot older than Rita. She was 17. She was an acquaintance of Rita and lived down the road from him. Rita hadn't thought much of her until she started stalking him.
It's messing me up.
Every day and every night, she would be following him one way or another, whether it be in person or online.
So you gotta relax.
Rita first started getting the creeps when she would start messaging him over 20 times a day. Stuff like, be safe, are you alright, sleep well, etc. This was a little weird, but he overlooked it.
It is strange.
Then the messages started getting creepier. Instead of the usual checkup emails, they got more personal. Things like, you should eat your lunch, if he skipped lunch, or I think your sister is hungry, when his little sister was crying.
Hey!
Rita stopped using.
Hold on, man. How she know all that information? What the heck? What is around him that she knows what's going on every second? This is creepy. This is out of jurisdiction. What the heck, bro?
Using both his phone and social media at this point. But it doesn't end there. Rita's mother was almost never home, so he was frequently looked after by babysitters. One day, he had a new babysitter. It was Ayano.
Oh, lordy.
Nothing was particularly strange as she looked after him and his siblings, but she did get a lot closer to his mother than he would like. One day at school, Ayano approached Rita and told him that his mother would be out of the country for a week, and that she told her to let Rita stay at her house. Rita was hesitant at first, but hey, it was his mother's wish. He couldn't go against that. Ayano told him that his mother had already left, so he could go home with her after school that day.
Hold on! Ayano told him that his mother left. Oh, okay. Ayano told Rita that his mother left. Okay. The names is freaking me out because Ayano sound more like a guy and Rita sound like a girl. So it's freaking me out, but we got it. So, all right. So she told him.
Rita reluctantly agreed and went home with her. When he got there, her parents weren't home. Things get a little
Want to have a side hustle bringing you an additional income stream?
What's up with all these side hustles things, bro?
Up telling the story. Things get a little blurry here as my friend choked up telling the story, as it still scares him today.
Oh boy.
He said Ayano would play weird games with him, stuff like Family, where she insisted she was the wife and he was the husband, as well as things like Cops and Robbers, and games to see who would get scared first, where she would blindfold him and leave him in a silent room for hours on end.
What?
It was 5 days into staying at her house, and Ayano had gone to her part-time job. She had left the doors locked and the windows were too high to jump from, so he just stayed in front of the TV, where he saw a chilling news report. It was a missing child report, the missing child being him.
Whoa!
He had the time to catch the number to call, the TV switched off, and Ayano was standing behind him with the remote in her hand.
Oh Lord!
Rita had
Oh Lord! What? This is crazy! Oh, this is crazy. Oh my, imagine that. Imagine that, man. Like you at somebody's house that told you, hey, mom's gonna be gone out of the country for about a week. And you watching TV thinking everything is, well, at this point, he ain't thinking everything is good. But just thought I heard a voice. but thinking everything is like, okay, Gucci. And then, you know, she over there, you watch a news report saying that it's a missing child or missing kid, and it's you. Man, chills. If I was him, chills would have been running down my spine. My brain would have been ignited with fear. It would be crazy. That, like, just imagining that is just out of this. It's just really ridiculous.
Freaked out, crying and screaming. Ayano held him, but he managed to wiggle from her grasp just in time to open a window and cry for help. Luckily for him, a couple were walking past, heard his cries and called the police. Within an hour, police arrived and found him locked in her bedroom with a blindfold and his hands tied. Due to Ayano still being a minor, Rita is unsure of what happened to her. He says he only remembers the police taking her away while his mother was hugging him. He moved to Australia after this and hasn't seen his kidnapper since, but he still cowers at the sound of her name. About 5 years ago, I lived downtown in a major city in the US. I've always been a night person, so I would often find myself bored after my roommate, who was decidedly not a night person,
Why they gotta
went to
put
sleep.
this face
To pass the
in
time,
this thing, bro?
I used to go for long walks and spend the time thinking.
Come on, son.
I spent 4 years like that, walking alone at night, and never once had a reason to feel afraid. I always used to joke with my roommates that even the drug dealers in the city were polite. But all
Honestly,
that
I'm not
changed
looking
in
at that
just a
face
few
like
minutes
that.
of
What the
one
heck?
evening. It was a Wednesday, somewhere between 1 and 2 in the morning, and I was walking near a police-patrolled park quite a ways from my apartment. It was a quiet night, even for a weeknight, with very little traffic and almost no one on foot. The park, as it was most nights, was completely empty. I went down a short side street in order to loop back down my apartment when I first noticed him. At the far end of the street, on my side, was the silhouette of a man dancing. It was a strange dance, similar to a waltz, but he finished each box with an odd forward stride. I guess you could say he was dance walking, headed straight for me.
He was happy
Deciding
to see
he
you.
was probably drunk, I stepped as close as I could to the road to give him the majority of the sidewalk to pass me. The closer he got, the more I realized how gracefully he was moving. He was very tall and lanky and wearing an old suit. He danced closer still, until I could make out his face. His eyes were open wide and wild, head tilted back slightly, looking off at the sky. His mouth was formed in a painfully wide cartoon of a smile. Between the eyes and the smile, I decided to cross the street before he danced any closer. I took my eyes off of him to cross the empty street. As I reached the other side, I glanced back, and then stopped dead in my tracks. He had stopped dancing and was standing with one foot in the street, perfectly parallel to me.
Oh, freak.
He was facing me, but still looking skyward. Smile still wide on his lips.
He said what?
But still looking skyward. Smile still wide on his lips. I was completely and utterly unnerved by this. I started walking again, but kept my eyes on the man. He didn't move. Once I had put about half a block between us, I turned away from him for a moment to watch the sidewalk in front of me. The street and sidewalk ahead of me were completely empty. Still unnerved, I looked back to where he had been standing to find him gone. For the briefest of moments, I felt relieved until I noticed him. He had crossed the street and was now slightly crouched down. I couldn't tell for sure due to the distance and the shadows, but I was certain he was facing me.
Bro, he's coming after you,
away
bro.
From him for
Bro, yo, he is coming after this kid. This kid is gonna get got if he don't run and leave the spot. Get out of
there. So it was clear that he had moved fast.
Yeah, he's fast.
I was so shocked, and I stood there for some time, staring at him. And then he started moving toward me again. He took giant, exaggerated, tiptoed steps, as if he were a cartoon character sneaking up on someone.
Hey,
except he was moving very, very quickly. I'd like to say at this point that I ran away or pulled out my pepper spray or cell phone or anything at all, but I didn't.
He froze!
I just stood there, completely frozen,
Oh
as the
my
smiling man
gosh.
crept toward me.
I'm trying to tell you!
And he stopped again, about a car length away from me, still smiling his smile, still looking to the sky. When I finally found my voice, I blurted out the first thing that came to mind. What I meant to ask was, "What the fuck do you want?" in an angry, commanding tone. What came out was a whimper. What the fuck? Regardless of whether or not
Lord.
humans can smell fear,
No!
they can certainly hear it. I heard it in my own voice, and that only made me more afraid. But he didn't react to it at all. He just stood there, smiling. And then, after what felt like forever, he turned around, very slowly, and started dance-walking away.
What the heck is
Just
this?
like that. Not wanting to turn my back to him again, I just watched him go, until he was far enough away to almost be out of sight. And then I realized something. He wasn't moving away anymore, nor was he dancing. I watched in horror as the distant shape of him got bigger and bigger. He was coming back my way. He was coming back my way, and this time he was running. I ran too. I ran until I was off the side road and back onto a better lit road with sparse traffic. Looking behind me then, he was nowhere to be found. The rest of my way home, I kept glancing over my shoulder, always expecting to see his stupid smile, but he was never there. I lived in that city for 6 months after that, and I never went out for another walk.
Nah.
There was something about his face that always haunted me. He didn't look drunk. He didn't look high. He looked completely and utterly insane.
Man.
And that's a very, very scary thing to see.
If this is real, bro, y'all gotta...
In the mid-80s, my mom was a cleaner in Australia. She would clean houses in suburban areas and would sometimes do houses in rural or wine regions.
Hold on. Jamal says you probably was a ghost in number 9. Probably.
She would leave business cards at the local shops and got most of her business this way, and some through referrals and word of mouth. One day she got a call from a lady who sounded like she was around 60, asking Mom to clean her old farmhouse. She made a lot of odd demands, and Mom would usually meet clients before taking on new business. In this case, the lady did not want to meet my mom and said she would leave the keys under the front doormat. Mom agreed, mainly because the lady was quite obviously wealthy and was offering to pay Mom substantially more than she would reasonably expect. Mom went to the house on a Monday morning and said she already felt unnerved by the long driveway. The house was essentially in the middle of a very large and very empty property. She found the keys and started cleaning. About an hour into the clean, she hears the back door shut. Mom was told no one would be at the house, so she immediately felt unsafe. She stood frozen in the kitchen for what she said felt like 3 or 4 minutes, although she said it could have been much longer. There was no other car on the property. She wanted to leave immediately, but had 2 rooms left to do. Both were bedrooms. She said as time passed and she heard nothing else, she decided that perhaps it was nothing, or perhaps something had fallen and it wasn't the door after all. She walked up the hallway and stepped into the bedroom. All over the bed were black and white photos. As Mom got closer, she realized that the photos were all of her. Some were taken at our family home, and others were taken at other houses Mom would clean. Some through windows or over fences.
That sounds familiar.
She used the house phone to call the police and immediately drove to the end of the driveway. The lady ended up being investigated, but continued to claim that it was a break-in. After some time, the police stopped with their searching and we ended up moving to a new town 4 months later.
Get out of there, son. New town.
I'm 22, and this incident happened a 1.5 years ago. I had just moved into my first apartment and was in the process of moving in. The door that led to my apartment locks itself automatically when closed. So, I was going to the entrance of the apartment complex to get my mail while talking on the phone with my friend. I returned to the apartment and sat on the bed while opening the mail while using the phone. I dropped the phone on the floor and it landed under the bed, so I had to lie on the floor and stretch for it. I saw something that caught my eye. There was someone under my bed.
No, it wasn't.
My eyes widened and I choked the urge to scream.
What?
The person under my bed.
Hey!
Nah. That's crazy. What do you mean somebody was under your bed, though? Hold on. Nah, bro.
With his back towards me and his head to his chest, so I couldn't see his face, and he didn't see me. Trying to be rational while so many thoughts rushed through my head, I picked up the phone, said, "Sorry, I dropped my phone. I'm just gonna take a shower and call you back." The bathroom is right by my bed, so I hastily walked in, quietly locked the door, turned the shower on, jumped out my window, and called the police. They told me to wait nearby, but to go.
Hold on, my loving. What's going on? Is this thing not? It's not charging no more. Is it plugged in? Okay, there it goes right there. Wait, is it? Is my charger not working no more? Okay, there we go. All right. Hold on. First of all, that was a pretty good plan. That was a pretty good plan to to go to the bathroom, turn on the shower, and jump out the door. Hopefully she had, or he had, whoever this is, had their keys so they could get out of there. But, man, what a close call, because the person was underneath your bed and you saw them. That has got to be the creepiest, heart-dropping moment you could ever be in. Like, you had no idea, and you just happened to drop your phone, and you saw this person right underneath your bed. Man, I remember back in the day, right? Quick story. I remember back in the day, I dropped something. Well, not dropped something, but I was looking for something under the bed. It was at my aunt's house, and she had a whole bunch of stuff underneath her bed, like, you know, shoes, coins, whatever. And I was looking under to see if I could find like a quarter or something like that. And I saw what I thought I saw like another human being down there, but it was actually, she used to have these like piggy banks, and one of them was shaped like a human head. And when I saw it down there, I thought I saw another human because it looked like a human head. And I jumped up so quick and then ran upstairs. So I already had a slight scare like that way back in the day. So I can imagine being in this situation where it's a real person, if it is a real person, it being real crazy.
I jumped out my window and called the police. They told me to wait nearby, but to go across the street and see if anybody comes out the door of the apartment complex. This was during the summer and it was still light out. I placed myself across the street, hiding behind a car while watching my open bathroom window and the entry door. I called my friend and he came over just before the police. I gave them my keys and they went inside. Only moments later,
Before he says what happened. We got Rice said, yes, very smart. I would have full out panicked. Yeah, but it's a scary situation. That was a smart move on this person's part.
Cops came out holding a thin and tired looking man. His eyes looked crazy, but he didn't try to get away. The policeman that stood beside me and comforted me while the police searched through my house told me that the man stood outside my bathroom door with one of my kitchen knives, waiting for me to come out. This man had somehow crept in my entry door while I was getting my mail and hid under the bed. The man that was trying to hurt me turned out to be a homeless person and was placed in a mental hospital.
That's the scariest one so far.
When I was 21, me and my girlfriend were upstate in my family's vacation mobile home.
It's on the top.
It was during a snowstorm and we were sitting on the couch next to the heater, snuggling and watching late night TV. We were surrounded by absolutely nothing but forest in all directions, and all that was keeping us from the outside was a wooden door that had a broken lock. The last time my grandparents
What
came
are y'all
up,
doing there?
my
Then?
grandpa put a few cinder blocks by the door to use as a kind of barrier in the meantime, since the door opened inwards. Anyway, while we were watching TV, my girlfriend started shaking me, telling me she heard something outside. I assured her it was most likely a deer or a bear or something, but then 5 minutes later, my girlfriend looked at me again. I heard it too. I muted the TV so we could hear it better. It sounded like someone was messing around in the little lawnmower shed outside. My car was parked outside and all the lights were on inside. If there was anybody out there, they knew we were inside. My girlfriend was urging me to go outside and check it out.
Nah, we gotta chill with that. Do we have a gun? If he got a gun, it's easy, you know. All right, let's go out. But if not, we ain't going out empty-handed. That's crazy.
She must be crazy to think that I was going out there.
This ain't a movie.
The sound stopped and there was nothing but the sound of the storm outside now. After a few minutes, I felt it safe to shut the inside lights and open the blinds to take a quick look outside, but it was too dark to see anything. I turned on the porch light and I was able to see a good portion of the front yard outside. There were footprints in the snow. Not animal footprints. They were clearly shoe prints, and they were headed in the direction of the backyard. I went to open the curtains to the backyard window, and when I did, I felt the urge to scream, but my girlfriend did instead. Even though there were no lights in the backyard, we could see a man dressed in all black and wearing a vendetta mask facing the window. I immediately shut the blinds and told my girlfriend to go hide in the bedroom, while I grabbed my grandpa's hunting rifle out of the closet. I pushed the cinder blocks and a bunch of other heavy objects in front of the door as a barricade, shut all the blinds and lights, and went to hide with my girlfriend in the corner of the bedroom. There was a bang at the front door.
Oh, Lord. Whoa.
He was trying to bust open the door. I don't even think he tried the knob, but it didn't matter either way. After a few futile bangs to the door, it seems the man finally gave up. I stayed up that whole night with the gun by my side. While my
He got a
slept.
gun. Oh, it's good money now. He's good. He's good. Jamal said number 8 reminds me of the film Smile, mixed in with a little elongated secondary monster from the 1997 film Spawn. Oh, Lord. Lordy. Ra says, heck nah, the man needs to stay inside with his lady. Yeah, for real. Don't be going outside getting cut up and sliced. Yeah, hey, if y'all haven't seen Scream, go watch Scream. Scream got some crazy stabbing scenes and cut. Is very aggressive. Pancakes, what's up? What's good? We in here on break right now. Hey, man, take a break. Take that break. Jamal, he said, gun or machete, knife, protect your... Hey, exactly. At all costs, protect the lady. But don't do anything crazy. You know, we gotta be smart out here too. You know what I mean?
We packed and left first thing in the morning. But the scary thing, there was a fresh set of footprints leading from the front yard window out into the woods. I haven't been up there since, but my grandparents have, and they said that there was no sign of a break-in or anything missing. I don't plan on ever going back up there.
Nah, don't go there. Don't go. Number 4.
Back when my grandma was still alive, I would always walk down the block to her house every day to help with various chores. There was this one day that I walked over to her house the same time I always did and decided to let myself in. I was surprised she left the door unlocked. She was a very paranoid old lady and normally kept everything locked. I saw her bedroom door was opened upstairs, and I heard her opening and closing drawers and cabinets. I walked upstairs calling Grandma, and as I was about 5 feet from the door, she slammed her bedroom door shut. I knocked, asking if everything was alright, and at that moment my cell phone began to ring. It was my grandma's phone number. I was so confused.
I knew she wasn't there.
I picked up the phone anyway.
Like, you gotta remember, was your grandma slow or fast? How's she doing this powerful and all? Come on, man. You're like, he definitely wasn't paying attention, or maybe his grandma was not that old and she was able to move. But hey, something should have went off in your head.
My grandma was on the other end, telling me not to come over that day as she was walking over to her seniors club. I felt my heart skip a beat as she told me this. I hung up the phone before she could say anything else, remaining silent. I knew exactly what was going on.
She's getting robbed.
I played dumb and said, "Grandma, I'll be downstairs," and made my way to my grandma's kitchen to grab a knife and dial 911.
Man, you better go. You better get out the house. Wait, is it dark? If it's nighttime, strategize. But if it's daytime, get the heck out of the house. It's most definitely get out. What did I say? Both times get out the house. But let's play the video, man. This is I want to hear what happened
in the bedroom after what happened. The police arrived and burst into the bedroom, and the loud and sudden bang of a gunshot caught me off guard. When the paramedics arrived and wheeled out the intruder, I recognized the man's face. It was my grandma's next-door neighbor. Apparently, he saw that my grandmother had left the house and broke in to look for jewelry. And when the police broke into the bedroom, they found the man hiding next to the door with a large knife in hand.
Lord.
If I had walked into that bedroom,
you would have got
I would have been as good as dead.
He was about to get you.
The most haunting memory of my life.
Oh man,
me and my
wife
were getting home from dinner out,
the crack
and
door
as soon as we stepped out of the car, we noticed that our front door to our house was open.
Oh boy.
I told my wife to wait outside while I ran inside and ran straight up to our bedroom, where I hid the shotgun. I loaded the gun and scanned every single room upstairs. There was no sign of anybody. I made my way down to scanning the main floor, followed by the basement. There was no sign of anybody, and there was nothing missing or moved. I called the cops, and when they arrived, I told them what happened, and they began to investigate some rooms upstairs, followed by the basement. Nothing was turned up. They made a case of asking us if we were positive that we shut the door when we left. I myself was starting to have doubts, not completely sure if I had, but my wife remained confident that we had shut the door. The police seemed sure that if somebody had broken in, they didn't stick around long, as there didn't seem to be any signs of burglary. My wife was worried sick, crying that she wasn't comfortable being in the house.
I got a demon, man. There's a demon in there.
I comforted her the best I could, assuring her that whoever broke in the house left in a hurry. I finally fell asleep after hours of rolling around in the bed, but my sleep was immediately cut short by the disturbing scream of my wife.
Woo! Yo. Oh, man.
I looked at her, and she was staring intently in the direction of the closet.
Oh, Lord.
It hit me like a bullet just then.
Oh, shoot.
I had forgotten to check the second closet. I looked over and saw for the briefest second a man poking his head out of the closet before closing the closet door.
Oh, fuck.
Within 5 seconds, I had the shotgun loaded in hand and cocked it back to let the intruder know that I was armed.
Hey,
I screamed for him to come out.
No time wasted, bro. Get the shotty and aim it toward the body. He wasn't playing, man. Immediately. That's what I'm talking about, fam. You know what I mean? This is what react quickly. Don't be wasting time. Oh, did you see what? Like, nah. Get ready. Get ready, cause it's there.
And just like that, the closet door opened. But instead of showing submission, he made a mad dash for the front door of the house. I could have shot him, but I didn't have it in me. He was never caught. He got away with it scot-free.
Wow.
I think having that gun saved us from a terrible fate.
I probably would have popped him in the legs. I'm not gonna lie.
About a year ago, while still living under my parents' roof, I started experiencing some weird occurrences in my house, specifically my bedroom.
Uh-oh.
While I was laying awake in my bed one late night, I heard a creaking sound coming from across the bedroom. My closet door had somehow been opened. When I got up to check it, I subconsciously checked for anybody inside my closet, even though I was 20.
Oh yeah, before we continue, make sure y'all smash that like button for you, Duke. You know what I mean? Smash it, share, hit the share button right now. All that good stuff, man. Appreciate you guys.
26 years old. Of course there was nobody inside.
Wait.
So I shut the even though I was 26 years old.
Okay.
Of course there was
26.
nobody inside, so I shut the door and went back to bed. Later that same night, I would hear rumbly, rattling noises coming from up above the ceiling.
You got rats?
It sounded like something in the air ducts. It was a very strange sound. I really had no idea what to think about it. But as soon as it stopped, I kind of forgot about it quickly and fell asleep. In the morning, I did tell my dad about sounds in the attic the previous night, but annoyingly, he didn't seem too interested, or he just didn't take me very seriously.
Take me seriously.
That night, I again lay in my bed awake, reflecting on life, when yet again, the slow creak of the closet door creeped.
Hello everybody, Anton Crowley here from Drop.
Nah, bro, the slow creak in the closet is crazy. Hold on, we got some comments. That scream woke me up. Hey, yeah, that scream is gonna wake you up. Okay, seriously? Okay, serious question. If you're with your girl and you hear or see something crazy, if you hear or see something crazy, will you want your girl to stay with you, or would you want her to stay with you for protection? Wait, hold on, wait. Let me read that again. Would you want your girl to stay with you, or would you want her to stay with you for protection? Oh, I see what you're trying to ask. Like would I want her to be there for my protection, or would I want to stay for her protection? Of course, stay for her protection if that's what you're asking. And of course, if I was with my lady, I'm doing whatever I can to protect her. So that's just how it is. So luckily, if there's no weapons, I at least got the fist and the legs. At least last resort. I'm talking last resort. You know, I got the bowls and the shins. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, the lady's gonna be protected at all costs for sure. Have to. You know? Let's go back a little bit.
Night, I again lay in my bed awake, reflecting on life, when yet again, the slow creak of the closet door creeping open broke the silence.
Whoa!
This time, I felt genuinely afraid. I knew the door was completely shut. It would take somebody twisting the doorknob for it to be able to push
that
open.
Ain't no rat, baby.
This time I took an extra careful look inside the closet for anybody, even though it wasn't a big closet and there really wasn't anywhere somebody could hide.
Hey, he got a demon?
I rationalized it as being a broken doorknob or something. And that same night, I again heard the rattling sounds coming from above the ceiling. It was exactly what happened the previous night. The next morning, I convinced my dad to take a look at my closet door.
Nah, bro, I think
but
he got a
quickly
demon.
determined that the door was fine. When it was closed, he pulled on it, and it showed no signs of coming off the latch. Of course, he suggested that I was simply leaving the door unlatched, but I knew I wasn't. That night, I sat up, waiting for it to happen again, and right on cue, the closet door creaked open. I waited for the sounds above the ceiling, but there was just a long silence. I turned on my lamp and looked up to the air vents in my room, and I screamed at the top of my lungs. I could distinctly see two wide open eyes peering through the vents at me.
Oh!
My parents barged into my room asking if I'd gone insane. I explained everything, and they looked at each other like I had completely lost it. Not surprisingly, they dismissed it as a dream or the fact that I was too tired and was seeing things. They even began to lecture me about staying up too late. But to this day,
Hey, that's because they're scared. That's because they're scared themselves, man. That is why I think that's why. Ross says I said that wrong. I meant would you want her to stay with you so that you can protect her, or would you want her to stay in a safe place while you check things out? Oh, that's a good one. Depending on where we're at, you know, if it's like my house and I know the ins and outs, but yeah, if there's a safe place that she could stay, yes. But depending on what the situation is, though, Like if we can both get out and then come back later, we're gonna get out and come back later. But if it's like in the moment somebody attacking us, yeah, you go to the safe zone, and I get my pistol or whatever, and start popping on this person. You know what I mean? Get the queen out the way, and let me go ahead and start to slay. Okay, but this right here, I don't know if this is a person or what, but this sounds very strange. It sounds like it's a person because it's a system to it, it's a frequency to it. But I don't know, man. We got to figure this out. Let's see what it actually is, because I think it's another human, but it might be like a spirit. I don't know. Let's see.
No, I hadn't imagined it. It was too real. And the closet opening routinely? I know for a fact that wasn't in my imagination. I've never been a believer in the paranormal.
Oh!
But I still have absolutely no other explanation for those 3 nights.
Bro, it's something. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's...
I live in the Poconos with my wife and kids. There's a small lake about a quarter-mile away from our backyard. I commonly take my kids down there to go swimming. Up until last week, that is. Now, I'm never letting them go down there again. I haven't told anyone about this.
Hey, you guys see these chairs right here? I don't really like those chairs. They're not comfortable to me. Maybe if you put some padding in it, it might be better. But the way that it's built is just a little bit awkward for me. I don't know. What do you guys think about these chairs? I personally, it's not my favorite type of outside chair. If I had to pick, I wouldn't pick that.
Fear of sounding crazy. It was last Saturday. We went over to the lake and set up our chairs on the sand. It's like a little private beach in our own backyard. It's been amazing. Me and my wife sat in our beach chairs enjoying the sun while our kids were splashing around in the water. I always tell them not to go too deep. They're still young, 6 and 8. We sat there for a good 2 hours that day. Neither of us were in the mood to get wet. Eventually, my wife got tired and decided to walk back home. I agreed to stay with the kids a little while longer, as they were somehow still having so much fun playing in the sand and water. The sun was setting at this point, and I was getting tired. They were going a little too deep, so I called at them to come back closer to the shore. They couldn't hear me apparently, so I stood up and got closer. Before I could call them again, I noticed something in the water. It looked like a black, roundish object, and it was moving closer to my kids. I ran into the water closer to my kids, calling them to come out. When they got close enough, I dragged them out myself. When I turned back to the water, the object was gone. My kids were confused as hell. I didn't know what to tell them, so I just told them it was time to go home. We packed up and walked back to the house, but I wasn't happy when I got home. I was uncomfortable with what I just saw. That thing looked like no sea creature known to man.
The heck?
Dinner was waiting for us when we got home. I ate really slow, thinking about the object in the water and whether or not to tell my wife. My wife asked me what's wrong. She noticed that I was eating slow. I decided not to tell her right then. After dinner, I took a flashlight with me and walked back down to the lake.
Why?
By then, it was already dark out. I got to the lake, but to be honest, I didn't even know what I was expecting to find. I shined the flashlight all around the surface of the water, searching for the black object. And just then, I heard a large splash come from somewhere in the lake. The kind of splash of something emerging out of the water. I thought it might be some kind of animal in the lake. I shined the light all over the place, searching for the source of the sound. And then I found it. And I realized I was dead wrong. There was a silhouette of a humanoid figure with long black hair covering its whole face. It just stood there, facing me, but not staring at me. Not that I could tell. I dropped the flashlight in horror and sprinted all the way back up to my house, slamming the door shut behind me.
Oh, shoot.
I haven't told anybody about this.
A mermaid!
What kills me is that lake is only a quarter-mile away from my house. And for all I know, that thing could be watching me through my window right now as I write this.
Oh, wow. Wow, which... Okay, here we go with the noise. I hate that noise. It just... That noise right there, I can't take it. That's from Insidious. It's very scary, I'm not gonna lie. But out of the 10 stories, man, I definitely have a top 3. I don't remember the numbers. But the one with the kid or with Rita, that one was scary. The paranormal one with the closet door opening, that was scary. I like anything paranormal, you gotta stop playing with that. That is not something to play, to mess around with. This one, it is scary because you see a creature, and people have said that they've seen mermaid-like creatures, man. What does that mean? Hey, I never seen one, but there's been some talks. There's been some talks around the tabloids about creatures that you see that look like mermaids, half fish, half human. I am very curious. I'm very curious, but we're gonna stop right there because I don't. Hey, they watching. Let me see what we got here. We got a comment from Ra and Jamal. Says, I said that wrong. Okay, boom. He doesn't have common sense. Why did you go back? I know, it's like, people be acting like this is a movie, man. People be doing movie moves. Like, don't go back to what you ran from. There's always that one person that goes back to the haunted house and wanted to see what letter was left in the freaking drawer. Doesn't make any sense. Like, go back for what? Don't go back for nothing. Mom said that house might have been extremely old with someone else dying in that house before it probably is. Grandparents purchased it and their soul didn't cross. Hey, hey. I don't know. All I'm saying is the paranormal stuff, man. Hey. If you don't believe, hey, let's stop right there. Jamal said number 9, 8, and then 1 are my top 3. Yeah, those are some creepy ones, man. Man, it's just so crazy because I got a lot of scary stories, from back when I was younger, and now, like when I think about it, how you get the goosebumps, like, oh freak, oh whoa. If I go back and think about it, I'll get the goosebumps for sure because I done seen some stuff and experienced some stuff, real weird stuff. Let's move forward. So I won't get goosebumps right now. Cause this is all about the the scary stories. So let's stay focused here because I can go into a lot of different stories. I can create story times for you guys if you guys want to hear some of those. I got them. Mess with me, I got them. All right, we got the final scary video. What the title for the stream is, we have the scary video titled 3 Disturbing True Blizzard Horror Stories. I don't know anything about blizzards being in one personally, and y'all can hear I'm getting a stuffy nose. What's going on? Am I choking? But yeah, 3 disturbing true blizzard horror stories. I'm curious. I'm ready to hop on into it. If you need to use the restroom, go use the restroom. If you need to, get a snack, go get a snack. We're gonna finish this off right. Oh, said he had TV. Arthur.
Back before my girlfriend Jenny and I officially started dating, we would still hang out all the time. We both snowboard, and her family has a little cabin-type house in Vermont not far from Stowe Mountain Resort. This was around our maybe 10th time hanging out. She invited me to go up there for a weekend with her to go snowboarding for the first time together. It was like a 5-hour drive. As we neared her little house, we spent about half an hour on this very windy, secluded road on which we'd pass occasional driveways that would lead up into properties blocked off by walls of trees. We were way up there in the mountains. The sight of other cars by this point was something to behold. It really felt like we were alone up there. A lot of the driveways didn't even have tire marks in the snow, meaning even a lot of the houses were void of people. Jenny told me that's because a lot of the houses here were owned by people out of state, just like her situation. I was going like 30 when she yelled at me to slow down, it's coming up, so I hit the brakes, and this little opening in the trees that I otherwise would have missed came up. We drove this narrow trail in 4-wheel drive, which led to this small house covered in snow. It looked incredibly cozy. We parked, and first thing we did was turn the heat on in the little house. We unloaded our stuff inside, and since it was already getting dark that night, we just cooked some of the food we packed for dinner and watched a movie. Pursuit of Happiness, actually. So the house had just about everything. Heat, electricity, except running water. Her family had jugs and jugs of water for important things like washing hands and plates and stuff. But there was no working toilet, so she told me we had to use the outhouse outside.
Hey, don't drop
I
no
only had to
nose
go
in
pee
the
that
toilet,
night,
son.
so I just went out to the front deck and peed into the snow. It was also snowing out that night. We fell asleep at some point during the second movie we watched, and we woke up pretty early to our phone alarms. We wanted the freshies on the mountain. We started getting ready to drive up to the ski resort. After breakfast, I had to go out to the outhouse, though. I ran out to the outhouse in my shoes, and my feet started to freeze. On my way to the outhouse, though, I saw footprints in the snow. They were kind of big, but I couldn't tell if they were boot marks or animal prints.
Uh-oh.
I followed the trail, and it actually wrapped around the house and then went into the woods. I called Jenny outside, and she came to look and said it was probably a black bear since they're everywhere up here. So I went, did my business, and we set off to the ski resort, where we had a good 8-hour run. Afterwards, we stopped at a diner to eat, and then went back to the house. By this point, it was pitch black outside and snowing again. We set up a fire.
Oh, hey!
Blast and started blasting some music. We started to drink, and eventually I had to break the seal and pee. But also, if I was throwing my boots on anyway, I figured I'd do all my business in the outhouse. I ran out into the snowstorm and to the outhouse once more. This time I slammed the door shut to prevent snow and cold air blowing in my face. I heard the blasting music from inside the house still, but then over that, I heard the crunching sound of footsteps in the snow, passing the outhouse.
Hey!
Jenny, I yelled.
Hey,
no answer.
Hey!
The footsteps
That
just
ain't
walked
Jenny.
away. I brought my phone with me,
Jason
so I just
Voorhees.
texted her, "Are you outside?" It didn't immediately deliver though, because my cell reception sucked up there. A few minutes passed and I was still in the outhouse. I was just about to finish when the blasting music suddenly stopped. It was just pure silence, minus the sound of snowflakes hitting the ground outside. As soon as I stepped out of the outhouse, I realized it was pitch black out here now. The lights from the house were off.
Whoa!
I figured maybe the power went out.
No, it
I
didn't.
used my phone's flashlight and noticed a fresh pair of footsteps in the snow leading to the house.
Uh-oh.
I followed the footsteps to the front door, where they seemed to stop, then continue around the house. I banged on the door and yelled Jenny's name. Suddenly the door opened and an arm pulled me inside the house. It was Jenny. She slammed the door shut and locked it. She whispered that there was a man who tried to open the door, which she locked as soon as I went to the outhouse because she was scared being alone. When she saw the person at the door wasn't me, she cut the power and hid in a corner in the living room and watched in horror as a stranger walked past the living room window slowly, looking inside. I came to the door only a couple minutes after this happened. Jenny told me about the secret cellar in the floor that her dad kept a couple rifles and shotgun in.
Yes, sir!
Navigated in the dark.
Yes! Let's get to the guns, baby! No playing around. Oh, let's call the cops and get blankets. Nah. She said, hey, I know where the gun's at. Yeah. Let's get the guns and get ready. This is what you gotta do. Ain't no time to lollygag, bro. You wanna know what he got. So hold on, I want to rewind that because I need to hear her. I need to hear him say that one more time just in case I missed.
I came to the door only a couple minutes after this happened. Jenny told me about the secret cellar in the floor that her dad kept a couple rifles and shotgun in. Navigating in the dark, I found the handle to it and lifted it open. Now, using my flashlight, I climbed down the little ladder and grabbed one of the guns off the wall. We then waited on the couch in the dark, afraid to turn the lights back on, exposing ourselves to whoever was out there. The closest neighbors were not a short walk. Jenny said it wouldn't have been any of them, and odds are they weren't even in Vermont right now. Once again, the only sound was the sound of snowflakes hitting the ground outside, until the sickening sound of footsteps in the snow outside returned. I took the loaded gun and marched to the front door, opened it, and shot like 3 rounds into the air, screaming. The footstep sounds were gone. I'd imagine they ran off, and the sound of the shots echoing into the air masked the sound of the footsteps running away. We left the next morning under the recommendation of her father, who said it's best to not be there at the moment. They don't really have anything they're worried about being stolen, so we just got the hell out of there the next day. At least we got our full day of snowboarding in. That horrific night was definitely an experience, to say the least.
Anonymous, story number 2.
I live in England.
Oh, hold on. Before we start, it says, I'm good, I'm A-okay. It's adrenaline, not scary at all. Okay. Will Smith and Jaden Smith and their first father and son film back in... And
for others who live here, you may remember it snowed quite a lot in the winter of 2018. I used to love the snow, but after what happened, I'm no longer a fan of it. My immediate family was going to visit extended family in Cornwall for the weekend. I didn't want to go. I don't get along with them very well, and would much rather have stayed at home, so I faked an illness. I wasn't expecting it to work, but it did. They went without me and left me in charge of the house, which I was fine with. For the record, I was 16, so it's not like they were being irresponsible. Saturday was great. I went on my computer, watched Netflix, and played in the snow with my dog for a bit. She loves the snow more than anything. That evening, I was just finishing up a mission on Call of Duty World War II, when I started to get hungry. The house is full of food, but mostly food that takes a lot of effort to prepare. I decided to go to the fish and chip shop in the village. By now it was getting dark outside and the snow had stopped falling, but it had gotten really deep. I grabbed a tenner and crammed it into my pocket before pulling on a coat and heading outside. The route I take involves going down a tree-lined snicket that has a few street lamps for light before coming out near the main road where the chippy is. By the time I got there, it was dark out. I got some chips, battered sausage, and started to head back home. I was halfway down the snicket clutching my meal when I heard it. In the trees just to my right, a twig snapped. My head whipped around, but I couldn't see anything. My heart was racing, but I tried to convince myself it was just an animal. Until I heard it again. 2 snaps in rapid succession. Now I was scared. I began to walk home fast, and I forgot about what was coming up. The last section of the snicket, which was almost pitch black. The bulb in the street lamp had blown months ago, and the council couldn't be bothered to fix it. I sighed with frustration and worry, and carried on walking before I heard it. The continuous sound of twigs breaking stopped for a moment, before being replaced by crunching. I stopped and turned around, and my heart stopped. I could see a black figure silhouetted by the lamp further down the snicket. A black figure who was running straight at me. I turned around and full-on sprinted through the snow. I burst out of the snicket and ran to my house, which was only about 10 meters away. I got my keys out as I was running, and I jammed them into the lock as soon as I was close enough. I threw myself into the house and slammed the door shut behind me, locking it. I looked out of the door window and saw nothing. The streets were deserted. It wouldn't be that bad if it ended there, but it didn't. Paranoia kept me up late, and close to midnight, the dog started making a racket, barking and scratching at the back door. I knew deep down what she was barking at, but I didn't want to believe it. I went to the back door, but it was too dark to see anything. I steeled my nerves and flicked the light switch to once again see nothing. The back garden was empty. I dragged the dog away from the door and went back to watching TV, but something was nagging me. I couldn't think what it was. The back garden was undisturbed apart from my footsteps leading up to the back door from when I came home. That's when it hit me. I came in the front door. My veins turned to ice, and as I walked to the back door, I realized something was very wrong. I could feel cold air on my face.
Wait, what?
I walked around to it and stopped dead. It was wide open. The build of my house gives 3 different options when you enter the house. The living room, where I was, kitchen, or stairs. As I slowly backed into the wall, I heard a light but clear thump upstairs. With that, I grabbed the dog, grabbed my phone, and ran straight to the neighbors, and due to it being midnight, I rang the bell about 10 times before getting a response. They were furious about being woken, but when I told them what was going on, they let me straight in. The police took about 40 minutes to arrive because of the snow that was once again falling heavily, and when they did come, they did a thorough search of the house. They found nothing. The footsteps were all filled in by the snow, but the CCTV showed a figure running straight out of the back door soon after I left and hopping the fence at the end. They disappeared into the woods behind my house. It kills me to know he's still out there, and that he knows where I live.
He tried to
I'm
get
sleeping
you!
more steadily now, and we have a new lock on the door. And for a while, I was constantly worried for me and my family's safety.
Hey, see, that's why I'm on my Home Alone stuff. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, for the crib, for the future house, I'm setting up nightly, like, I wouldn't say booby traps, but security measured obstacles. Let's say that. Like, I am gonna be fortifying my spot, man. Like, it's no joke, you know. And if you come inside, you might get popped. I'm just saying, you might get popped, man. That's what's gonna have to happen. Cause my lady's in there. You gonna have to. Hey, it's gonna be us that's gonna be surviving. That's all I'm saying about that. So let's move to the next story.
Do you want to get paid every week as a clickbank?
I'm 27 years old. This happened when I was 26. My mom passed away a few years ago. My dad is blind. My dad sold a very successful energy company when I was young though, so we have money and multiple properties which we rent out. Obviously, I have to do my part in helping out given the circumstances. I help manage most of the properties. My dad lives in his one-story condo about 10 minutes away from us. The condo is walking distance to the village, which has grocery stores and anything he could need. My sister Katie and I live in the house that we all used to live in together as a family. Our dad gets by himself with basic things like shopping and taking care of himself, but we have to bring him to further away things like doctor visits and whatever he can't walk to. This happened during a winter storm. Katie was at her boyfriend's house half an hour away from home, so I was home alone. The snow was coming down heavily, and I thought to call my dad and check in on him. He has a landline phone because that's easier for him to use rather than a smartphone. He does have a smartphone, but he's stubborn about using it sometimes. When I called, it rang 4 times, then went to voicemail. So I called again, and the same thing happened. Normally he would rush to the phone to call back whenever we call, so I waited a few minutes before calling one more time when I saw he wasn't calling back. He once again went to voicemail.
Dada?
I left a message asking him to call me back. I called Katie asking if Dad said anything about going out in this weather, and when she said no he didn't, that's when I got worried. I didn't like the idea of him being out in a blizzard, so I drove over to his condo. The roads were so bad that there were hardly any cars on the road. My phone kept vibrating, giving a winter storm advisory warning. These were no conditions for my dad to be out walking around in. As I pulled up to his condo, I did notice footsteps in the snow going both ways, indicating he must have gone out and just gotten home. I knocked on the front door and yelled, "Dad, it's me." And a few seconds later, the neighbor's wife, an elderly woman named Hannah, opened her door and said hello with a smile, telling me her husband just gave my dad a lift to the store a few minutes ago. We talked for a minute, then I thanked her as she closed her door. I figured I might as well let myself into my dad's condo to wait since I was already here. Naturally, before looking for my key, I tried twisting the doorknob, and to my disappointment, it opened the door. My dad didn't lock the door again. I told him so many times to stop doing this because one day someone would break in, even if we live in a nice area.
That is
Shut
true.
the door behind me, but then I noticed something peculiar. There were melted snow tracks on the wood floor, leading past the living room to the little hallway, which leads to my dad's room.
Oh.
Dad, I called. Did he get home just before I got here? But that wouldn't have explained Hannah's husband not having returned yet. Well, maybe it could have. Maybe he dropped my dad off and then ran his own errands. These were the thoughts I was having as I was slowly following the tracks. I called Dad one more time, this time louder. I didn't hear the shower running, so why wouldn't he be able to hear me? Something wasn't right. He would have answered. I started calling my dad's cell number, and I heard it in the bedroom down the hall. Maybe he was home. I went down the hall into my dad's empty room. He wasn't there. I saw his phone vibrating on the nightstand next to his bed.
Oh, shoot.
I looked at the ground and saw the melted snow tracks lead to his bathroom and his room. The door was closed. I went over to knock on it and said, "Dad," one final time. No response. I slowly opened the door.
Uh-oh.
The bathroom was empty. But there was something unusual I noticed right away, and that was the shower curtain. It was pulled shut. My dad always leaves the shower curtain pulled open. I know this for a fact. On top of this, the door being shut was also unusual.
Hey, listen. You leave the bathroom. Yo, boy, them. Leave the bathroom, dog. Get out. Run. Because you know your dad's habits. You know that's not how it's supposed to be looking. It's time to be booking outside the house. Come on, man.
He leaves all doors and such open to make navigating easier for himself. I looked at the shower curtain for a moment, then closed the door, walked to the front of the condo, shut the door, and called 911.
Okay.
I made it in the front of the condo, the only entrance and exit. Police showed up surprisingly quickly given the conditions. We went back inside of the condo together and right into my dad's room, where we saw a man sitting on the bed with his hands in the air, as if he knew we were coming and he waited there. My dad got home about 10 minutes after this.
He knew.
Time to hear everything that happened.
He knew.
The man who broke in lived a few units down according to his ID. That meant this man had been keeping an eye on my dad and his place for a while, with plans to break in and rob him.
Wow.
I think I learned where the saying "rob him blind" came from after this.
That's crazy.
My dad, being the kind soul he is, didn't even want to press charges, but we persuaded him to hire a lawyer. The man was charged with third-degree burglary, and he's still in jail to this day.
Man, hold on. What is third-degree burglary, man? Let's look this up, because y'all know how third-degree burns, first-degree burns, like, yeah. What is third-degree burglary? Third degree. Hold on, let me switch the thing just in case something pop up. I don't want to pop up real quick. Third degree burglary. Third degree burglary. I never heard that before. I mean, we heard third degree burns and stuff like that. All right. Let's switch the scene one more time. Okay. So, third degree burglary is a felony burglary charge. It means that the offender did not assault or batter a person, or it was an unarmed burglary. This sentencing is also applied if the property was unoccupied at the moment of the offense. Okay. So what is first degree burglary? Let's see first degree burglary. First degree burglary. Let's see that. First degree burglary is an extremely serious crime. Oh shoot, that can carry a life sentence and a fine of $10,000 or less if the assailant was armed with a deadly weapon, committed assault or battery against a person within the dwelling, and used explosives to enter the structure. Why they gotta add use explosives into the thing? I guess that's one of the caveats there. But hey, we got it done. We got it done. 3 disturbing Blizzard horror stories. Man, I see a common theme in pretty much a lot of these things. It's about doors. Doors and knowing when they're locked or not. You know. Make sure y'all doors is locked. Make sure you secure the spots. As always, man. But let's get into some some lighter videos. You know, this is where part of the live where we end off with some pranks or funny videos to kind of like ease up if anybody might be a little tense. Okay, I like to do this. It's fun. This one is hilarious rap prank. Have people losing their minds. So let's go ahead and check it out before we end this joint. Let's see. Ooh. Ooh.
What the hell is
It's on you. It's following you.
She walking in circles. She ain't give a doggone. Oh, she was over there hitting that gospel dance, bro. Hold on, let's go back. She was hitting that praise break. Ooh.
Oh shit.
Why did you do that? I'm like, what the fuck?
Have a blessed day. Thank you, man. Thank you.
She knows something up. she was waiting. Oh shoot! Oh shoot!
Oh shit!
Wow!
Oh shit!
Where that shit come from? What the hell?
That came out the salad.
Shit! What the fuck? What the hell is this shit? What the hell?
Let me see. Great first video countdown session. Hey man, appreciate you, man. Perfect, great. Appreciate you, Jamal. Ross says these are funny. And yeah, would you do a public prank on people? Man, public pranks, certain types, yeah, but public pranks can get you murked out here. But yeah, certain ones. Definitely public interviews. Oh, shoot, let me turn on the light. Let me turn on the light real quick. Definitely public interviews. But other than that, maybe certain pranks, but we got to be careful out here these days because people don't like pranks no more.
What the hell is this shit? Oh my god, where's my mom? What the what the fuck?
Stop trying to throw it away.
What the hell? And that thing right there? What the? I'm sorry.
I think it's pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty much done on that one. Let's go to another one. Another fake. Another fake rat prank. Let's see.
People in the bathroom with a fake mouse.
This is how it works. I put the mouse right here and I control it with this.
Oh, this one right here is gonna be crazy. Oh, oh Lord.
Alright, y'all, so I just got the toy rat. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom right now. I'm gonna go straight to the bathroom. I'm gonna get whoever in there.
Now something like this, a prank like this, you know, it would be fun to do. I'm not gonna lie. It would be a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh, I think I just lost my mouse. I just got a mouse from the back of Walmart. Oh my gosh, excuse me.
Huh?
What the fuck? Do you see anything over there?
What you talking about?
I lost my pet rat.
Hey, man, whatever you got going on, I don't know what you talking about.
Yeah, fuck him last session, okay. Hey, I'm gonna press the bed. Oh, shit!
Oh Lord! He jumped over the thing. This guy. It's crazy.
Bro, it was up in here somewhere.
You got me fucked up.
What the? Hey, come out of here!
Hello? Excuse me, I just...
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I hate rats myself and mice. I will run. I personally would run. I don't deal with rats or mice. I don't deal with them. It's one of my Never mind.
Oh, fuck! Yeah, move, get it! Fuck, what is that?
He hurt you, bro.
It's the mom!
Alright, everyone. I don't want to flush this on my turd.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Chill. Hey, here, you can play with it. You can play with it. Here.
Oh!
I'm just doing a little...
Hold on, that's just gross though. You gonna give him the controller, and he over there taking a doodle. Ugh, that's gross.
Oh, shit! Oh, my shoe! Oh my God, I'm out. Ah!
Hold on. Is this rigged?
My name is Jeff.
Oh, shit! What the fuck? Bro, what the f? They just broke the stall.
All right. That was that one. We did that one. Jamal said, "Rat on wheels." This funny Marco. Let's watch a little bit of his video. I don't know if he might try to strike me or not, but let's see.
Spare change. Thank you. You know.
Yeah. You don't wanna. What the fuck?
Oh yeah. Hey, this is funny Marco. Hustling strangers for money with a pocket full of like money. So this is like where he get like some money. He's like, hey, can I get $1? And he put out a wad of money and put it to his collection. I think this is kind of funny because people are like, hey, what the heck? Like, you asked me for money, you got a wad of it? Get out of here.
I didn't. Did I ask him for spare change?
Yeah, you did.
Huh? No, I didn't. Snitch. So, basically, it's the Alpha 1 brush, right? When you brush, the Alpha 1 brush. So when you brush your hair, it got grease in it. It's the first one. So basically, going up to customers.
We're gonna skip that part.
Thank you.
Got a technical background? Looking to...
What type of work you do?
Just be out, you know.
Yeah. You don't wanna. What the fuck, man? Dude, you just asked me for fucking money and I get. Whoa, my man. What the fuck? Are you crazy?
What you talking about?
What I'm talking about? I gave you money for a brush and you pull out fucking $1,000. You lost your fucking mind.
What are you saying? No, I just
I
got.
know what I'm saying. Have you lost your mind? You a fucking hustler? You hustling people for a living?
No.
That ain't right. I can give you a job, my company, Carolina Heating and Air.
Oh,
you
Lord.
can do honest living. Pay fucking taxes, my man. Pay taxes. What's the use of walking around hustling people? You ain't gonna get no fucking way of doing that. What if I hustle you and take your fucking money? I'm wrong? Think I'm wrong for that?
This guy mad, son.
You fucking standing here, right?
It's a lot of F's. He's using a lot of F's. Let's move on before I get strike. Hey, YouTube, they'll find the F's and get me. So let's go ahead and move forward. Hey, he is not happy. We know that for a fact.
It's an Alpha 1 brush I'm trying to get, and I just need spare change. You can brush it and grease come out. I don't want to bother you or nothing like that, but you brush and then like grease come out. So I'm hurting for change, and it's just like people don't like. He just told me no. People just be telling me no, so I can use anything. Like I'm down on my luck. And I really want this brush.
I got you like $5.
That's cool. I appreciate it. As I say, people be understanding, like, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to this, all this should be a hustle. What?
I just gave you $5. Like, how you gonna pull out a wad of cash after I just gave you $5?
What do you mean?
You just pulled a whole wad of cash out of your pocket.
Yeah, that's my cash. Why you pocket watching me?
Because I just gave you $5.
I know. I'm just saying you didn't have to. I'm just saying. So am I wrong?
I mean, you just pulled out a wad of cash. You asked me for some money. How much your brush?
Huh?
How much your brush?
I don't know. They be selling out.
Listen, bro, I gotta get back to work.
I know that's cool, but I'm just saying, like, but you didn't have to give it to me though. No, but listen, no, I'm just saying, but why are you upset with me? You said, bro, what the fuck? And I'm just saying, tell me where I'm wrong. Can you help me out?
I mean, you just asked me for money, like you don't have money, and then you just pulled out a wad
I never
of cash
said I was broke.
We're gonna stop it right here. We're gonna cut it short, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, bro. Scary Saturdays. We ended it off with some funny laughter. All that good stuff, man. Make sure you turn on your notification bell so you know when I go live. Comment down below. Let me know what parts of the video you thought were the scariest. It could be from a ranking in a certain video, or it could be out of all the videos. Whichever one you want to do, drop it down below, man. Let me know. If you like gaming, go to the gaming channel, subscribe to the gaming channel, all that good stuff. Hang out with me there doing the live streams. And we got more content on the way. Like I said before, working on getting my editing software fixed. Gonna be posting some more videos. If you haven't joined the membership, I got videos on the membership only page, which if you're on the browser, you can click join and you can see the tiers and all that good stuff. So if you want to do that and be a part of that, go ahead and do that. Smash the like button if you watching the playback. And without further ado, catch you guys next Scary Saturdays. It's Eddyed TV. But let's read the comments before we get out. Jamal said, I would come out with fake Monopoly. Okay. Great stuff. Appreciate you. Hey, y'all lock y'all doors before y'all go to sleep tonight. Check around, do all that good stuff. Stay safe out there, and also get y'all licenses, man. Get your license and insurance for your guns. Will they give me for this? I don't know. It's Eddyed TV. Catch you guys next live stream.